Welcome, lovelies, and welcome to my Authortube, WriterTube Newbie Tag. I decided to join on the funs, even kind of just felt wrong not doing it, even though I've done 2-3 videos so far. And I didn't introduce myself. So I'm gonna do this thing. I got the questions here below me on my iPad in front of me. And let's do this. Let's get to know H.K.Darkwood. Who is she? What does she want? What is her aim? So let's find out. And if my eyes wander, I'm still getting used to the recording thing, and I'm using my phone, and I tend to watch my face, even though I'm not supposed to. So let's start this. First question. How did you find out about Authortube, WriterTube? Kate Kadanoff. Kate, if you see this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Kate Kadanoff. You know who. If you're watching this video, you know who I'm talking about. But as I don't have her name in front of me, and I'm suck terribly at names, like so bad, so freaking bad. But so, girl, love your videos. You give me a kick in the ass every time I watch your videos, and it's just okay. I'm gonna write it now. Kate can do it. I can do it. I can do this. So. Kate Kadanoff. I think I said it right now. This time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I saw this video from her or way back. Or her mentioning it. Yeah. She was the start of this all. So that is how I decided, since I've been writing for so long, decided to do it too. Next question. Let me see. What genre do we write in? So I write fantasy. My main sweet spot is middle grade, young adult. I have, that is basically what I'm most drawn to. Young adult, middle grade fantasy stories. That is my jam. Even though I want to write in all genres, that is just where my heart is. So. Meh. So, are you a plotter, pantser, or planter? So, when I started writing, when I was about 13 or wanting to write, I was a total pantser. I just wrote. Let the story take me. You know, when you give the story the reins, and it just takes you somewhere. So yeah, I've also always been kind of a pantser. Isn't there a better word for that? It sounds so not right. But yeah, you're definitely gonna leave it in the comments and let me know, because so I need to know. So yeah. I used to be a planter, but maybe 10 years ago, I had this revelation. I kind of just awoke after a weird fantasy dream that inspired the story I'm working on now. And I just discovered that I am a planner. Plotter. I like plotting. I like outlining. I like planning every single detail. I just love it. That is the thing I enjoy most about story building. Planning, plotting, and just organizing all the thoughts. I love it. So, basically the long answer. So yeah. Question number 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? So I'm Icelandic, and not that that does any big thing. So I published my first book in 2011, a young adult, a middle grade book called Hulduheimar, under my real name. And yeah, so I published, and I've published 2 poetry books here in Iceland. And now I'm hoping to get that first book translated to English and publish it as a English story, middle grade young adult fantasy book. So yeah, I am published, but I haven't published yet to the English market. But here in Iceland I have published, technically speaking, the real books. And we can poetry books as we do, because we love poetry books. So yeah, I published that book, had been getting a little, had even those fan moments, like, so, oh, I love your books, and it was so amazing. But then I got gun shy. I freaked out, basically freaked out, when people loved my story. As weird as it sounds, I wasn't ready. But I'm ready now, I think. So yeah, I am self-published. I decided I sent 1 query, because we technically don't have queries here in Iceland. So I sent my story to 1 publishing house. Decided halfway through the way that I didn't want to get published through a publishing house. Got no, but send us the book next year. That's usually a very good sign. Decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted to self-publish because it freaked me out giving the control. So that is me. That's why I'm self-publishing, even though it was not the question. Let me see. What's the next question? Okay, what publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you representing by or use? Yeah. If you're not published, what is your dream? Publishing house or literary agent? Like I said, I don't have any special dream. There is a publishing house here in Iceland that's called Forlag. It's talked to be one of the most more prestige publishing houses here in Iceland. And that was the big dream when I was little. But after my realization that I don't want to give any control away, none whatsoever, that kind of just died. So I'm just, yeah, me attitude. Question number 7. Let me see. What Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Rambles, talking about my books, rambles, helpful videos that you guys might request, vlogs, I'm not sure yet. Stuff related to my books and my journey to become a full-time writer. Yeah, I think it will be more about books. Yeah, my journey to become a full-time writer. Even though I'm technically, no, I don't. Okay, full-time writer in the sense that I can survive completely on what I earn from my books. That time of full-time writer. Let me see. Question number 8. Let me see. When did you start writing? So I have always been a storyteller, but I'm dyslexic. Woohoo, super big news. Oh my god, she's dyslexic. But yeah, so I'm dyslexic, and I used to have paralyzing insecurities about my writing and spelling. So I kind of was afraid to write, but I love telling stories to both so now I have 2 younger sisters that I used to make up stories and tell them when we were little. One is 3 years younger than me and one is 14 years younger. Especially the younger one, I used to make up stories of fairy tales just for her. And I did that through all my childhood. since I just can remember myself making up stories. But I didn't start writing them down because I kind of figured out when I was 13, oh, I can write it down for me. Nobody else has to read it. I can write it down for me. So I started my first book world 13. And that is a series I will publish one day. But it's very big and it needs a lot of planning. But yeah, when I was about 13, 13, that was when I started writing. But mainly just for myself. World building, all that stuff. Where were we? Yeah, question 8. Question 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? Yeah, the first story I ever wrote down. That's actually first story I ever wrote. Ooh. Oh, So there was a little story when I was very young. I used to get these dreams. Probably just watched too much TV, but I used to get these dreams. We had an attic in my old house. And I always used to dream that I would visit a fantasy world with Miss Beatrix Potter bunny dressed in an apron, all that stuff would greet me at the door of the attic and invite me to that world. And I used to play around creating that story around that dreams I used to have every year. I'm not kidding you guys. Every freaking year. Talking about mastering your dreams. In your dreams, that is. Anyways, yeah. So that was technically speaking my first story from a dream. Many of my books and story ideas have started from dreams. Tell me if you are the same, if you have similar things, if you write, that is, or just not watching just to be entertained by my awkwardness. Next question. And sorry, I'm always looking the wrong way. We were at question 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? Authors? So I should have wrote this down. I didn't prepare anything. So Tolkien, even though it's a very slow read to read his books, and I had to listen to them in audiobooks to special date. I listened to them. Tolkien is a major influence for me because I just admire his world building, his dedication to that world, to that book world. It fascinates me, all the details he puts into it. So he's one of my favorite. Neil Gaiman, I freaking adore him. I think he has the most awesome book voice there is. Terry Pratchett, admire him for him. It's the same thing, world building. There are a lot of authors out there I just love. I love. But of course, I'm terrible with the names, so of course I can't just read them out loud. And of course, I didn't prepare. I just printed out I screenshotted the questions and sat down, turned on the phone, recording of the phone. I'm sorry. Stop saying sorry. It's annoying. I know. I'm working on it. Question 11. Ooh. Do you schedule your writing session or simply get to writing whenever you find time? So I used to just write whenever, but for the last 2 years, as I've tried to finish my 5-book series, the first one I published in 2011 here in Iceland, I'm trying to write for an hour at least every night before I go to sleep. But even though even though I only write 100 lines and 100 words, just as long as I write something, I'm happy. I work a full-time day job, like so many others, and I work in sales. I'm an introvert from hell. So when I get home, I am pooped. I am mentally exhausted after every shift. So it takes me a few hours to recuperate enough to write. So an hour before I go to sleep, I write. Even though there's just one line, I write something. And to the point that I will be publishing 2 books next year, definitely. Depending on how fast I can translate into English. And yes, I'm doing that too. Let me see. Question 12. Oh, we're almost done. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I have a little office at my home that I write in. I usually write on my computer, but I love outlining. I tend to outline my books in little notepads, little books, just a diary, just anything that strikes my fancy for that special story. And sometimes I just write everywhere. I have notes everywhere. I'm not very organized when it comes to my writing. I'm trying to be. I'm getting much better, but I'm getting better. But I'm becoming more in love with writing digitally, because then I have an easier time organizing my notes. But I do like printing stuff out and having it visible. I do like that. Oh, and question number 13. This last one. Yes. It's already been 17 minutes. Oh my god, I can talk. Wait. Not the thing. Just cough. I'm not supposed to talk this long. Let me see. Question number 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of Authortube? So my main ambition for joining Authortube, depending on which you prefer, because I kind of prefer both. I know it's a sensitive topic to many. So, I'm sorry. I'm mainly here because I want to network, get to know more writers. I think that it would benefit me greatly to get to know more like-minded people. It might help me write more, faster, publish more, or start publishing more. And yeah, make friends, connect, spread the word. That is me. Maybe that might help my publishing dreams when that finally happens. Yeah, basically that. Yeah, I like connecting, even though I have a very hard time keeping connections because of my introvert madness that likes to be alone with my own mind and talk to myself with my 4 cats, soon to be 5 cats. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not, and I'm so happy. So yeah, and I know it's not a question, and I've probably mentioned it in the last 2 videos. If you ask why aren't you just publishing the books, I decided I am going to be publishing my series as soon as I've finished fast drafting all 5 books. When all 5 books are either completed or in fast draft phase, I will start publishing. My first book is in translation into English. The second book is in the drafting, second, third drafting, editing stages. I'm aiming to finish the dirty draft of book 3 in NaNoWriMo that I'm doing now this November. Wish me luck. If I can finish that draft in November, I will be so freaking happy. And I aim to have either completely outlined or fast drafted book 4 and 5 before spring. So when I publish book 1 and 2 next year, that they will either be fast drafted or outlined, or preferably fast drafted, so I can just start drafting like crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna do the fast release thing for the first series, because I have a few other series that I'm planning when it's supposed to be writing, and I want to get to writing those, so I'm in a hurry. And if I get to meet more writer friends and start doing more writing sprints, I might finish faster. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to my ramble. If you stayed this long, I freaking love you. You are freaking awesome. And I'm gonna stop being awkward. Tell me if you find me somewhat entertaining. Please tell me what you think. Tell me what you would like to see. What's the vibe you get from me? What's the experience you want from me? But don't ask me where the accent comes. Oh, like, subscribe, comment. Let's be YouTube friends. And thank you so much for watching the video. You are freaking awesome.